What's up, boys? Coming here with a quick picks video on UFC Fight Night Royval versus Taira in the Apex. Let's get into it. First fight up, Clayton Carpenter versus Lucas Rocha. I'm honestly really liking Carpenter in this matchup. I think that he can find the finish, but this obviously could go to decision just because Rocha is pretty tough. This is debuting fight for Carpenter, debuting fight for Rocha. Both of them come from the Contender Series. I say Carpenter has the wrestling. Rocha takedown defense isn't the best, so the game plan is pretty easy for Carpenter if he wants to take the easier way out of just getting takedowns, getting the controlled time, and winning by decision. But I think that he comes in pretty good with a pretty good pace. He has really good technique. He's a good striker, good grappler. I think that he can knock out Rocha here because Rocha comes out a little bit too slow for my liking, and I think that he's kind of more of a builder, and Carpenter comes out pretty fast. He can hold the pace. He has a really good head kick, and I think that he'll probably end up catching Rocha with some good kicks, maybe even land the head kick and knock him out. My prediction is going to be Carpenter, medium confidence to win, and I think that he's going to knock him out in the first round. But obviously, it could go to decision, so give me Carpenter by knockout in the first round. Next fight up, Dan Argueta versus Cody Haddon. Cody Haddon, he's 7-1. He's faced the likes of Steve Erceg, went to 29-28 with him. Dan Argueta, he's a wrestler who comes out pretty fast, has good wrestling, but if he's not able to get the takedowns, his striking isn't the best, but he has good intensity. Haddon, I'd say he's pretty composed. He has a pretty good scramble. I think he can get taken down, but he can get up pretty good too. Argueta, I feel like he is going to be lacking on the feet here. He also missed the weight, so that's it could be a plus, could be a negative. Most of the time it is a plus when somebody misses weight. They usually end up getting the win, but I feel like Haddon is better than him on the feet. I think he's better than him at the scrambles. Wrestling is going to be towards Argueta, but I think that Haddon, he's got to be able to stuff takedowns. If he gets taken down, scramble, get out of them, stand it back up, and win on the feet. I think that this fight will go to the decision, but Haddon has some power. Argueta has some grappling and some submissions in him, but I'm going to be picking Haddon, low confidence, by decision. Next fight up, Cory Mckenna versus Julia Polastri. I'd say that Julia, she has good intensity. She has damage. She always looks for the damage. She's not super active or has a lot of output, but she does have good, powerful punches. She's strong. She has wrestling of her own, but she can get taken down. She lost in her last fight just because she just couldn't beat Knutson in the stand-up game. So she can get out techniqued, but Mckenna isn't going to be better than her on the feet. She's going to be looking to take her down. If Mckenna can take her down, she has held other opponents down with good ground control time, and Polastri has been held down before. But I feel like the fact that she has the damage possibility and she lands good damage is probably going to make her win this fight just because this fight's probably going to decision. Julia has the finishing upside, so that's always good. I think that finish only on Julia would probably be pretty good because I don't think Mckenna would probably finish her. Mckenna will be looking for the takedowns. I think she'll shoot a couple, land a couple. It's just dependent on how much she can hold her down. But I feel like Julia will be able to land enough damage to win herself the rounds and win herself the fight. So give me Julia by decision, low confidence. Next fight up, Junior Tafa versus Sean Sharaf. I'd say that Junior Tafa, he's probably one of the biggest and most overrated people. He's been a kickboxer before. He's 5-3 in his MMA career. He's really lost to people who aren't that good. Walter Walker has good takedowns, but he's not that good, or not crazy good at least. Lost to Lima, which he's pretty good, but he kind of gave up in that fight. He just got kicked. He got leg kicked and then he kind of just gave up, fell down, and didn't get back up. He also, in his kickboxing career, also got finished by leg kicks, so that's not the promising sign for him. I feel like Tafa is a bit too much of a quitter. He knocked out Parker Porter, but I feel like that was a layup for him, which Sean Sharaf could be a easy layup for Tafa. But I feel like Sean Sharaf, he has a good camp. He's only 4-0. He's fought at a lower weight before, and he was skinnier also before. He's been training for a decent while. I'd say he has the power. He has all first round finishes, 4-0, but he's fought pretty much shitters. But I feel like Tafa is a shitter himself too. He quits. He has power. He has speed, but I don't think that he's that good. He's a lot worse than his brother. I think that the fact that Tafa, his wrestling is just so bad. I feel like if Sean starts to struggle on the feet, I think that he can just take him down pretty easy. Even if his wrestling isn't the best, I feel like Tafa's wrestling is piss poor. I think that Tafa can get taken down here. I think that he can easily get knocked out as well. He's kind of a quitter, and I don't really like that. And at minus 300, I don't really see how anybody would be betting on him. So I'm going to actually be picking Sean Sharaf by first round knockout. But I honestly could see this being dragged out. But and I'd honestly favor Sean there because the wrestling, even though his game plan, there's not too much tape on him, all first round finishes. But I'd say that if it gets later, both of them get tired, I feel like his camp is good enough to realize that the wrestling advantage is on his side for sure. So give me Sean Sharaf by first round knockout, low confidence. Next fight up, Niko Price versus Themba Gorimbo. Honestly, this is a close one for me. Themba Gorimbo, he has the hype. Not too much hype, but he's on a 3-fight win streak. He lost to AJ Fletcher, which he kind of got scrambled into a submission. Niko Price, he's kind of wishy-washy. He's been in the UFC for a long time. I'd say that one thing about Niko Price is, though, he brings it. He'll keep going. He'll keep fighting. He had a good win against Alex Morono where he just pretty much just out-cardioed him and put him in deep waters and ended up winning that fight. I feel like Themba Gorimbo will be looking for the takedowns like he does in every single fight. But they are good takedowns, but I feel like if Themba Gorimbo gets a little bit tired or there are a little bit of reversals, which I feel like Price will be fighting for those reversals. Themba Gorimbo, he's lost before. He's not the best at defensive wrestling, but his wrestling is pretty good. And I feel like on the feet, Themba Gorimbo's got the speed, he's got the power, but I feel like Price, I'm liking him. The dog mentality, just keep going forward, keep fighting. I think that he can take a round for sure. So I'm actually going to be picking Niko Price by decision with low confidence in him winning. But I think that this fight will go decision. I think Price will take a round. So give me Price by decision. Next fight up, Jonathan Pearce versus Pat Sabatini. This is going to be a grappler's delight. I feel like both of these people like to fight on the ground. Pearce is someone who likes getting damage off at any moment in time, any position. He'll be looking to get damage off. Sabatini, I'd say that he has really good grappling. He probably has the better grappling advantage here. And I don't know about wrestling, but grappling, Sabatini is going to be having the edge there. I'd say that he can find a submission because Pearce kind of leaves his neck out there a little bit too much, and he kind of makes himself vulnerable to those positions even when he's on top, or he can get reversed as well. He actually got submitted like that against Brito where he had a takedown and then got ninja choked. I'd say Pat can definitely find a submission here. This is a close fight, but I feel like I really like the grappling and wrestling advantage. Oh, actually, I really like the wrestling advantage that Pearce might. I think that Pearce will have a wrestling advantage, and I'd say that the fact that he goes for damage and looks for it all the time, ground and pound, I'm going to be favoring him in this fight. I think this fight will go to decision, so give me Pearce by decision. Low confidence in him winning, but I think that he'll be able to edge it out. Next fight up, CJ Vergara versus Ramazan Temirov. I'd say Ramazan, he is looking like a prospect. He is 17-2. He has a lot of knockout wins. He has 10 knockout wins, I think, in the first round. CJ Vergara, he's honestly pretty tough. He's been in the UFC for a couple fights. He's been proven to just be able to survive. He hasn't been finished in his career, I don't believe. I'd say that this is a good matchup, but it's also one of those ones that you want to be a little cautious because Ramazan, he isn't that proven, at least in the people that like we know that are good. I feel like this is a good test for him if he's able to go through Vergara like he is maybe expected with like a 30-27 decision, or he knocks him out, I'd say that he is definitely going to be a good prospect. But this is a tough one just because he hasn't been proven to just knock out people that are hard to put away and just that will keep moving forward, keep coming at you, and make it hard for you. But I'm actually gonna be favoring. Ramazan Temirov here. I think that I like the knockouts. I like the power. So I think that he actually wins by decision just because CJ Vergara is a little bit too tough. Debuting fight, maybe some nerve. So give me Ramazan Temirov by decision, low medium confidence. Heading into the main event, Daniel Rodriguez versus Alex Morono. Alex Morono, we kind of talked about him a little bit against Niko Price. I feel like he could gas a little bit too much for that in that fight. I'd say that his stand-up is decent. He has some power, but his probably best part of his game is his grappling. He is a fourth degree black belt, I believe, or four stripes on his black belt. He's really good on the ground. He can snatch up a submission, but the only problem is that he doesn't really have takedowns. He doesn't really go for takedowns either. Daniel Rodriguez, I believe that he's a better striker in this matchup. He has good output. I feel like he might even have Morono gas where he can maybe possibly knock him out because he has some power as well. I'd say maybe even in the second or third round he can start connecting some shots. Morono gets a little bit tired, can find the knockout. But I feel like Morono is pretty tough. I think that this fight will go to the decision. I think that Rodriguez will just be able to piece him up, land the better strikes, and just output Morono to a decision victory. So give me Daniel Rodriguez, low medium confidence to get the victory by decision. Next fight up, Grant Dawson versus Rafa Garcia. Honestly, I'm really big on Grant Dawson. The only thing that makes you worry, or makes probably most people worry, is that he got knocked out in chin by Bobby Green. But other than that, his wrestling is really good. His control is really good. He's not crazy entertaining, but he definitely has submission victories as well. Pretty sure out of 9 fights in the UFC, he has 4, or 10 fights in the UFC, he has 4 decision victories, 4 submission victories. I'd say that he can definitely find a submission here because he'll probably be on top for pretty much majority of the fight and he'll be looking for something, but he's not urgent to find that submission or find the good ground and pound, just like we watched in Grant Dawson versus Joe Solecki. He wasn't really looking for anything crazy. He was just looking to control him. Got 3 takedowns, 1 in each round, and just held him down. And I feel like Rafa Garcia, he's tough, he's good, but his wrestling isn't going to be good enough. I feel like I think that Garcia, he'll just struggle too much of getting up. I think that Grant Dawson will secure the takedowns. He's got some of the best wrestling in the division. I think that he'll find ground control time, land some good shots, possibly look for a submission, but I think that he'll find the decision victory. So give me Grant Dawson by decision. High confidence in him winning. Next fight up, Chidi Njokuani versus Jared Gooden. I'd say that this one is a bit scary just because Gooden, he honestly is looking better in each fight. The fight against Wellington Turman, I'd say that he was looking pretty good. I thought Turman would be able to get that done, but he ended up looking good on the feet, ended up finding the submission victory against somebody who's good on the ground. Chidi Bang Bang, I'd say that his victory against Reese McKee was definitely something that he needed just because he was on a 3-fight skid. But honestly, the people that he's losing to, I feel like Jared Gooden would lose to as well. And I feel like Chidi Bang Bang, he has the power, he's got the speed. I don't think that this fight will go to the ground. Chidi should be the bigger guy, even though Jared Gooden missed weight. I'd say Chidi Bang Bang, he's got the height, he's got the reach advantage, he's got the weight advantage. So give me Chidi Bang Bang by first round knockout to find that shot, put his lights out. So give me Chidi Bang Bang by first round knockout, low medium confidence. Next fight up, it's the co-main event, Brad Tavares versus Jung Young Park. Honestly, I was going back and forth on this, and I kind of switched recently. This fight was supposed to be scheduled, and I was picking Tavares. I felt like Tavares was going to be able to beat him on the feet, and his takedown defense is pretty good, so I don't really see Park taking him down. And recently, looking back into it, I feel like Park, he has a pretty good jab, and on the feet, he's honestly pretty decent. Going against the likes of like Albert Duraev, he was winning on the feet, got that fight to the ground, and it was a different ball game. So I think that if this fight can go to the ground, Park should just be better than him and look for the submission and maybe even find it, even though Tavares has never been finished. Tavares has been getting knocked out kind of recently, but I feel like Duplessis, that's not a bad loss decision. Bruno Silva, I think it was an early stoppage, but he still got dropped and got hurt. Could have been stopped anyway. Rodriguez, that's kind of an expected loss. He's been getting chinned a little bit. I don't feel like Park has necessarily that power, but he has good jabs. He's got good striking. It's a bit unorthodox, but still good technique. I feel like I'm going to be picking Park just because he has better tools in his game. I feel like if this fight goes to the ground, he'll probably be able to win. I'm not sure if he'll get the takedowns, but if somehow clinch, gets a takedown or just anything on the ground, slip, catches his leg. I think Tavares, he's pretty much just only a striker. He's not going to be looking for takedowns. And I don't know. I'd say that both of them are older, but 36. Tavares has a lot of fights in the UFC. Um, this. I think this one is a really close one, but I'm actually gonna be picking Park by decision, low confidence. Next up, the main event: Brandon Raw Dog Royval versus Tatsuro Taira. I think that this one, the odds are probably wrong on here. I feel like Royval shouldn't be that big of an underdog. I'd say Royval is tough. I don't think that he actually even won against Brandon Moreno. I'd say it was a close fight, but I feel like Moreno edged it with the takedowns, with the control, with the striking. Royval does have really good output, and it kind of maybe makes it harder for the judges to score it just because so much output, not much damage, but having so much punches just land is probably good for the judges. Tatsuro, he has good stand up. He's got really good wrestling. He's got really good grappling. I feel like he's overall a really good prospect. This is his biggest step up, though. This is a really big step up, and I don't really see why he should be a minus 300 just because he hasn't beaten anybody that's like crazy, crazy good. Um, and Royval is crazy good. He's top dog in the division. And I'd say, or one of the top dogs in the division, I'd say Royval, he can definitely edge this fight by just stuffing takedowns, but I feel like that's his biggest thing of just getting taken down. He got taken down by Pantoja like 9 times, got taken down by Moreno. But even though that these guys are the top dogs, I feel like Tatsuro Taira is going to be one of those top dogs, if not right now. I think that his wrestling is too good. His grappling is pretty good. I don't know if you'll find the submission just because Royval is crafty. Pantoja couldn't even find the submission on him. Um, but I'd say that Taira it will be able to land the takedowns, land the control, be safe, not get submitted. So give me Tatsuro Taira by decision, low confidence. That's going to be my UFC Fight Night Royval versus Taira quick picks breakdown. Thanks for watching.